higher. There's an entry there. This happens on the higher time frames as well, not just the 1 minute. But look at the entries you've potentially got access to. This is what I say when you do get to full time and you do get funded and things like that, play with one time frame, because you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6 trades that are all coming in, maybe 1 or 2 lost, even 4 wins. You know, you could really scale up here. You know, if that's only if you miss the one at the bottom. You know, we saw price happening down here. If you got in that one, you have no need to bother what's going on here. You can walk away. You've got your stop loss at break even, whatever, you're sorted. But looking at what price is doing, and this is just if you miss it. It sometimes taps it, it sometimes fills it. You know, we saw that price here, you know, that was a little tap. This one here was filled completely. You know, I think the one I waited for was a complete fill, and I actually got in when it filled it, because if you got in there, the risk reward ratio wasn't actually on. You know, that one there got filled. That one was tapped. So it's James, it's just different. You know, every time it's different. You can get in on the imbalance that's open. You can get in when it fills it. You just risk the chance of losing it. You know, looking at a higher time frame perspective, I was looking in this area here, and I still feel like this is on. You know, we have had price moving higher, but you know, I still feel like that's just to take this area here. You know, I think this is a really good entry area right here. And EU, I know we were looking at EU, but in reality, it's just crap. You know, that there is consolidation at its finest. I know we've broke out of it just, but I would consider that all, you know, I would consider that really choppy. I mean, even then, you can see here, 15-minute time frame, price pushes higher, comes to this candle here, as well as filling in the imbalance. And then, yeah, price isn't really giving us much in terms of a re-entry. But has anyone got any questions at this point, guys? And I'm sorry if I've obviously spoken too fast. There's so much you could, you know, I could talk for days and days and days on this. And do you get your target from the daily, either bull or bear, and follow the smaller time frame to your daily target? So yeah, every single day, I clear my charts, and I am on the daily time frame. I'm looking at what price is doing now. You know, I can start on the monthly, and from a monthly perspective, you know, we look like we could obviously sell off, but the only reason we're looking at the monthly and the weekly is really for targets and things like that. But the daily time frame, it's about identifying, you know, what the previous day did. So if you look at NAS now, let's just say for argument's sake, we close here, and this is the high. This here is the low. Now, if we bring that down to a 4-hour time frame, we can suddenly see, you know, that's the low. We could do with breaking that, you know, so we want to try and break the low and then attack the high, because there's going to be liquidity at the low of the daily and liquidity at the high of the daily. And when you look at what the structure on the 4 hours doing, well, what I can see is, you know, this area here would be a nice area to react from. So how perfect would it be tomorrow if price is taking its way down to target the daily low, come in for this 4-hour candle, and then eventually push higher? Now, this isn't all going to happen necessarily tomorrow, but we might be on a lower time frame, and we might see, you know, some 1-hour structure, and we might see a break. And if we see a break, the 1 hour might be able to be a good indication that we're selling, in which case our target for tomorrow would be eventually getting to this daily low. And then Friday might be a time when, you know, this could be all tomorrow's price action. And then Friday price is in here, and we start looking at buying, because there'll be a daily low down here, liquidity, whatever, take it, push higher. You know, when you look at what today's price action did, it's really important that you are really, everything's on the higher time frames, you know, because we can see, you know, looking at NAS, this is the daily down area. You can go down the time frames and just see why was it moving where it was moving. 1 hour candle, close below, you know, liquidity grab. You can see liquidity was formed there, you know, that gives us our bias. Price pushes higher, in you go. And that's a 1 hour time. That's a 1 hour break. Am I making sense, guys? Are you all, I'm worried because there's silence on the, I'm worried that you're not with me, but yeah, does that make sense, guys? Any questions or anything like that? It's beautiful. The price action is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, that's fine. It's not, if it's slowly sinking in, it's going to sink in, it's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen. The course is really going to open up eyes. You know, it's just about being patient. And I think a lot of the time, and we're going to talk about this if you're involved in the mindset on Friday, and again, if you can't make it, it's worth watching it because the points I'm going to make are relevant to everyone. It's about dealing with what you see on the day, because don't be scared to not take a trade. Don't be scared to not take a trade if structure isn't doing what you want it to do. Makes perfect sense. Think it really clicks when you put it into practice. Really excited. Training's on point. Perfect. No, I really appreciate that. Can you please show me how to analyze a chart? So we just did it. So, you know, let's go on to a completely fresh chart that I haven't gone on for a while. So, you know, I would, if I'm on a new chart completely, I'm looking at the higher time frame, monthly down. And, you know, in my eyes, I can see here that we've obviously got this structure break, and I'm going to whiz through this. I mean, look at this on the monthly time frame. This is how fractal price is, guys. Look at that. Where's my thing gone? Imbalance, filled, up. You know, it's just perfect. You know, price action pushes higher from the imbalance, accumulates in here. Price action pushes higher on the weekly. What does it do? Imbalance fill. Comes into the candle as well. You know, this is how fractal price is. We're on the weekly time frame, guys. We're on the weekly time frame. And it's happening. You know, as of now, I'd be looking at this thinking, you know, from the monthly, just quickly coming down. You know, you would like price to accumulate in here somewhere. Looking at the monthly candle, you know, we are bearish. On the daily, this is where your direction is. Again, it is bearish. So I'd be anticipating distribution in here somewhere, but at the same time, you know, that there's your point of interest. And we've got imbalance above, so you've got a kind of a red flag for this as a sell. I wouldn't be looking necessarily to sell that straight away. I'd want to see 4-hour price structure push higher. Now, looking at what's going on here, that there tells me price is going to attack that high. It's just slowly walking up. It's building a lot of liquidity ready for when price does sell off. So I would be waiting for price to get into this imbalance, which actually would take you into this weekly candle here. So this here is a seriously good point of interest. And I also like this area because on the weekly, we sweat this liquidity right here. So I would anticipate price pushing higher and then coming lower. Target would be this incredible liquidity sitting right there, guys. You know, you could potentially get yourself into a very long-term trade. This here could pass you funded challenge and some. You know, this is the sort of stuff that makes you rich in one trade. You know, and that's on the weekly time frame. So yeah, I'd be waiting for price to close above here. This is internal liquidity. And then yeah, you know, see what happens after there. But that's a waiting game. You know, wait to see what happens. And then we'll see what happens in there. So it's a case of waiting. There's no point going any lower because looking at what's happening now, we don't need, nothing's happened lower. So let's wait and see what happens, you know, when we're structure's a bit easier. I was on the 15-minute when highs were taken out, so I was waiting for sales after structure break. 1 minute imbalance was created. I was waiting. There was a 5-minute imbalance got filled. I guess, how do you know which one to look at? Green box. So look. So you were looking for sells after the structure break. So it's the first imbalance, essentially. You know, so so you filled this imbalance in here. So what you could have done is placed your entry on this 5-minute candle because it filled imbalance and sold off. So you just have to wait a little longer when taking times on. Yeah, so exactly. It is price is fractal. Price moves the same way on every time frame. If you're on the higher time frames, it's just being more patient. But like I said, I would put higher risk on the higher time frames because heart structure is stronger on the higher time frames. And that's why on the 1 minute time frame, you always get taken out because sometimes it just takes out areas you didn't quite see on the higher time frames. But Lonzo, yeah, going on to your one. So you were looking for a sell inside this imbalance. You could have taken this imbalance, price redistributed here, and you could have got in here. Now, when price, I can't see what's going on here, but the reason I wouldn't take it on this imbalance is because the imbalance is quite big. This imbalance would be a good entry to take it off of because it's in line with the order block. I was waiting for 15 imbalance to fill. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. The thing is with EU, again, nothing, that's not something I would have wanted to trade. So are you here, Lonzo? Is that where you were? And then you didn't, yeah. So looking at this here, price action dropped and you wanted to wait for, so you were waiting to fill this area here, yeah? And then there you've got yourself your point of interest right there. And then, yeah, nothing's really happened at the moment. But the thing is, this is what happens when you're in this horrible range. It's just not very attractive. I mean, yeah, maybe look at another pair. I mean, what other pairs do you trade? That's maybe what I would sort of focus on. But any questions, guys? Anyone want to know anything? Gold, yeah, gold. But again, gold is getting out. So gold. So this is what you want to see: price pushing out and then pushing lower. And I think we were looking for price to, we got the close, but it's not very attractive on this area here. So this here is a bit balanced. So the best thing to do is wait till London session and we can have a look and see what price does in Asian session. It's hard to look for entries at this time of day or night, wherever you are in the world, because price is just going to do what it wants at this point. It's not going to necessarily abide structure. But looking at, today, it's been quite a quiet day. Tomorrow, London session is going to be busy, guys. London session is going to be busy. USD news, CPI event. And I would expect the New York session to be busy as well. So what will be ideal tomorrow is on London session, we expand, so what will be really ideal is that London session causes a nice push down. And then we get on the New York session, we get in on something like that, from the big London expansion from news. We can do oil quickly. I think oil was looking really clean, wasn't it, when we were there the other day? Do you wait until after the news? It depends. It depends if structure's there or not. So oil, weekly's kind of ranging. Definitely looking in here. Again, 4 hour, I'd be targeting price to come to that imbalance. That's the first target. The move was kind of down here. We pushed higher on a 1 hour. It kind of looks a bit messy. I mean, you could look in here because that is, it does work on a 15-minute range, but there's no imbalance. So I feel like we are just going to keep slowly walking our way up to that imbalance. And then when you get to that imbalance, then you could potentially look for sales coming down. This was the daily area. This is that perfect trade we found. We've come down, we've broken structure. Overall, the best thing to do would be to wait for sales in this area here. So I'd be looking for sales in here. This imbalance is really good because it's with the order block and it's with the daily open of the candle as well. So really, really strong area for potential distribution. But again, guys, don't necessarily look at going on the lower time frames until price is in the area. There's no point looking at price until it's time of day or it's in your right area. But yeah, hopefully that's okay with everyone, guys. As I say, the recordings will go straight in. The yesterday and today's London session and New York session are on the website for you to have a look at. The module 2 is going to be out over the weekend, hopefully before Friday sort of time. I'll start getting episodes out on that, and then it really gets into the charts and things like that, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the first module, and if you haven't watched it, obviously go and watch it. And yeah, it's going to be really, really good, guys. It's really, really exciting. I'm very happy that you're all here and we're all going to, you know, work together to achieve financial freedom with each other. Are there any books you would recommend? Yes, there is. I'll put a screenshot and I will put it in the Discord. It's a book called Relentless. It's a book called Relentless. It is the best book I've read, hands down, and it really opens your eyes. And there's another book as well I'd recommend. 11 p.m. here. Is it really? Wow. It's 9 o'clock here. So yeah, guys, without further ado, I'll let you get on with your evening, morning, day, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you guys on the Discord. And you know what I would say, I'm really liking the fact that we're getting more and more energetic on there. If you are kind of silent on the group chat, guys, start getting to know people as well. It's all about, you know, networking and things like that. So let's you know, get talking on that group chat, guys. Let's really build ourselves an amazing community. And even if you're not talking about trading, but you're talking about, you know, your life, just get to know each other, guys. We're all here to, you know, we're all here to be together and work together. And that's the beauty of trading. Trading's a lonely, lonely place when you're on your own. So the best place to do it is with people. So let's get it going. Let's smash it together. 2023 is going to be our best year yet, guys. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll talk on the group chat. See you later, guys. Well done.